G'day and welcome back, Thunder fans, subscribers. So we've got a bit of a game 2 wrap up here. Obviously the Thunder took out game 2 and score, I think, up 18. It looks like it was a bit of a comfortable victory, but to be honest with you, there was some very close moments in this match, and it wasn't one-sided as one-sided as the final score reflects. So we'll quickly just run back, go through the game. So first quarter, pretty evenly contested. Lakers up, Thunder up. Very even game, some small runs. We actually had, the Lakers actually had the lead going into halftime. I think they went up by 1. And the start of the third quarter, they were up 4 at one point. It was they gave us a challenge, man. Hachimura was drilling that 3. The commentators kept carrying on about his 3-point percentage of late, which is very impressive. Austin Reeves really bounced back big time from his very, very shocking game 1. He had 31. I think he was 10 of 16. He had a good game. LeBron solid all night with 22. Marcus Smart had 12, but he had a horrible shooting night. He was like 4 of 13. Tell you what, if Marcus shot and drilled a few more of those shots, this game would have been even closer. But the turning point was kind of an interesting one. There was that bit of a interaction with SGA and Austin Reeves. So they kind of got Austin Reeves was kind of holding him just before he received the pass. And then as SGA was trying to break free, his arm kind of got stuck in there, and everyone was saying SGA gave him an arm bar. Anyway, they did, the initial call was a foul on Reeves, I believe. Then they reviewed it, Thunder called for the review, and that was deemed a flagrant foul on SGA, and he got his 4th foul. Sorry, it was his 4th foul? I think it was his 4th foul early in the third, and that sent him straight to the bench. And it was a kind of a funny turning point because that kind of snapped the Thunder into gear, so you'd have thought it might have gone the other way, but that ended up with the Thunder bench going on a major run. McCain went crazy. Everyone just chipped in. Jay Will got like a 4-point play. It was very, it was a very bench fueled run, which is incredible to see. And SGA didn't come on until the 4th. Obviously, he skipped the rest of the third after that. And then they came back, took care of business. SGA made a few shots. I think he ended up with 23. Shot reasonably well from the field, SGA. I think he went 7 of 13. Only had 2 turnovers, so that was limited a little bit. The Lakers, I've got to give the Lakers decent credit. They're really limiting his output in this match and his assertion on this match. They're getting under his skin a little bit. Marcus Smart's a wonderful defender, but I actually think JJ Redick's probably a better defensive coach or he's being advised by some really good defensive coaches, because they've got some really good defensive structures going on the perimeter to getting the ball out of SJ's hands and forcing him to make some sloppier passes than he normally would. I would have expected him to have adjusted from game 1 and come back a bit better. But anyway, it was better, 23. Obviously got his magic 20 number, which doesn't matter in the playoffs. Anyway, all we care about is the win. Anyway, we ended up pushing him out. Ended up winning by 18. I guess Chet and SGA both finished, I think, 22-23. Chet had 10 or 9 boards and a couple of blocks. Ihart was pretty solid with 10, 9, and 2 as well. He had a couple of blocks as well. Everyone, AJ had 18 was AJ had. I think AJ had a pretty good, 20 maybe, even Wallace 12. McCain was lightning, man, and someone in one of the Facebook groups called him Lightning McCain. I like that. I hope that nickname sticks. I think he had 14, and he was smoking. He hit a couple of bombs, one monster 3. And he has become such a fan favourite. I love it. The team has bloody wrapped their arms around him and embraced him. And you see some of his comments coming out, how he just does not take it for granted. He's loved every minute of his time with the Thunder, and we've wrapped our arms around him, and nothing but love. And you got to love that from a young kid. He just absolutely loves this situation, not taking it for granted. He's just so thankful. He's saying thanks God every single day for the blessing he received by being traded to the Thunder. So thank you, Philly, for pretty crazily giving up on a second-year player. Well, quite ridiculous. And he's a gun, man. He's just a clean shooter. He can penetrate. I reckon he's got a bit of a ceiling on defense, a pretty high ceiling on defense too, because he seems to move his feet quite laterally. He hasn't got bulk minutes for us, but I see him as a major piece going forward, man. He's a beast of a player. He's just going to add to that insane depth that the Thunder have, and he's getting some clutch playoff minutes now and producing, man, with some big bombs. So got to love McCain. I had to shout to him. He had a great game. Look, the Lakers threw a massive punch back today. They were hung tough, but yeah, ultimately we just got too much depth. And we just keep coming, man. Like SGA goes to the bench and we go on a major run. Once you look at their bench, I think Kennard might have had 7, Jackson Hayes had 6 maybe, and then that's it. You got no one like that. Laravia scored 10. He had 10 minutes. I don't think he registered hardly a stat. He might have got a couple of rebounds. He didn't score. Their bench is just anemic, man. They need Luka back. Something wicked. Luka needs to put probably Hachimura or maybe not Hachimura, maybe someone else to the bench, Smart, and make one of those guys a six man. You need Luka, man. And I'll go out and say, if Luka doesn't come back for game 3, I'd say the Lakers are toast. This is going to go up. Thunder are going to go up 3-0 in game 3 unless Luka comes back. They might get Vanderbilt back with his dislocated pinky. So he might be back in game 3 to give him a little bit of a boost. Hopefully they'll draw something from their home crowd. Look, I don't want to see an absolute walloping. It's no test to us, to be honest with you. And I believe that's one of the main reasons SGA is not playing overly well. He wasn't really challenged defensively in the Suns series, so he's come in a little bit soft. And now Marcus Smart and the Lakers perimeter defense is giving him a bit of grief, which is good because he needs to rise to the occasion and come above some of these situations for the next series. The Thunder put that on over 18. It looked like a walloping on the end of the end score, and kind of the fourth quarter it was a little bit, but there were some moments in there where you thought this was going to go down to the wire, and I thought the Lakers were going to come out strong in game 2. They did, but they weren't able to persist over the four quarters. And this OKC Thunder team reminds me of that Spurs team of epic dominance with Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, who I hated at the time. Obviously Timmy Duncan, like that team, teams would go up and be close to them, but over 48 minutes you could never beat them. They were just so solid over 48, and you just knew over the 4 quarters and 48 minutes they'd get ahead. And it looked like they were losing the game, but they would just play their game. Nothing would change. They would not make mistakes. They're not flashy, and they'd win. And more often than not, they win. Come out with 5 rings. This Thunder team reminds me like that. Like you might be able to make a few runs at them, but over 48 minutes and 4 quarters, man, they're just going to overwhelm you with just non-stop defense and depth, mate. Insane. And the teamwork is getting better and better as well as we're getting all these minutes together. So that's game 2 done. We're going to game 3. Look, I don't think we're going to see... The initial reports were Luka was maybe going to play game 2. That didn't happen. I don't think we're going to see J-Dub in game 3. There's no reason for it. We're up 2-0. You roll the dice and you look for worst case scenario, split on the road, and you go home with a commanding 3-1 lead, or even better, you go up 3-0 and put this bad boy away in 4. But I don't see a reason to bring J-Dub on now. The only reason you would bring him on is if he's 100%, and just to get him a little bit of in-game playoff game time before that next series features to be a doozy. So going into game 3, I look for more of the same, kind of just the Lakers not being able to keep up with the Thunder over 4 quarters. Too much depth, too much perimeter defense. It just keeps on coming. And unless Luka comes back, I think the Lakers are going down 0-3 and obviously an unclimbable hole, and it's going to be game over. But let's just say I do want to see Luka back, but he needs to be ready. There have been conflicting reports. Some were saying he's back, some were saying he's not ready. I did see images of him shooting, but he's not moving laterally or moving at all, really, and that's non-contact, isn't it? So, look, I'm not sure if he's coming back. I think if the season's done, if he doesn't come back, and you need a 20-point, 25-5 kind of performance from him to give him a chance, man. Austin Reeves, you're not going to play much better than that, I don't think. Hachimura shooting solidly. Marcus Smart probably not going to shoot that badly again. So there's a few negatives and positives there that could come from it. You got to think that SJ is going to have a bust out game soon in this series and go for sort of 30 plus. And I'm surprised. I honestly thought his assist numbers would be up this. I thought they were going to take the ball out of his hands, which they have. And I really thought he was going to get some open looks for Chet and even Lou Dort. Lou Dort's been really quiet offensively. I thought he was going to bust out of his funk and get quite a few 3 balls up, but he's not really getting them up. He's missing the couple he's taking. He's not shooting very well, Lou Dort. And I thought that's probably affecting SJ's numbers a little bit. But I really thought SJ was going to distribute a lot better and get a lot more assists and see more of a traditional point guard role with this defense just throwing everything at him to get the ball out of his hands. But that hasn't happened. I'm still tipping either game 3 or game 4, he's going to have like a double-digit assist game, 10 assists to go with 25, 30 points, whatever, and trying to put this series to bed. So, look, it's 2-0. We're going to game 3. I believe the Thunder are going to overwhelm again and win by probably somewhere between 8 and 12 points, and trying to put this bad boy away in 4. I don't see Luka coming back. I definitely don't see J-Dub coming back. And more of the same. No more injuries. Keep working at Lightning McCain into the rotation. And just keep working this depth and keep limiting the starters' minutes if you can in the 4th quarter. That would be fantastic. Now, looking forward to that next series. I just finished watching the T-Wolves Spurs game 3. That was a pretty good game. Went down to the wire. Wemby had a monster game, 39 points. I can't remember, 12 to 16 rebounds. I can't remember exactly, and a couple blocks. He had a great game, man. He's 16 in the 4th, I think he had. So he really came big in the clutch. He took over. He's looking ominous. So they just got their home court advantage back. They now lead 2-1. Game 4 in a couple of days in Minnesota. Look, that series is far from over. The T-Wolves could definitely still pinch at Game 4. It was a good bounce back from them today after getting absolutely trounced in Game 2 by 38 or something. They need to win Game 4. Obviously, if they go down 3-1, they're not coming back in that one. There's no chance they're coming back in that one down 3-1. I'm sorry, against Wemby. But I'm looking for them to bounce back again in Game 4. I'm not going to call that series over yet. But the Spurs obviously now back with home court in the driver's seat yet again. But I'm not gonna write them off just yet. The T-Wolves, they look very good, and some of their lesser players have really stepped up. I'm looking at Jaden Daniels; he's looking very, very good at the moment. So we'll see what happens with that. But it's looking like a Spurs Thunder Conference Finals, which the world is probably looking forward to seeing. So I look forward to that too. That's the ultimate challenge, isn't it? This Wemby guy on the rise is supposed to be, the next. I don't know what, some kind of combination between Dirk Nowitzki and Olajuwon. Who knows? Let's see what he's got, man. You got to take on the champs. You got to beat the champs, man. So let's see. Over in the East, Knicks have just pretty much put away their little Philadelphia competition. That's 3-0. That's looking like curtains. Knicks are looking solid. I'm pretty surprised. I thought the Sixers would have definitely won a game by now, but that is what it is. And Detroit Cavs, you're looking Detroit up 2-0. I'd imagine Detroit's going to split the next two in Cleveland. They'll put that away. So we're going to be looking at Knicks and Pistons. And that's going to be a hell of a series. Knicks probably got a little bit more playoff experience at the time. Detroit's probably actually more deeper and probably a more overall unit. And their defense, they're a bit tougher. But that could come down to experience. That could go either way. I'd love to watch. I will watch every single game of that. That's going to be a hell of a series. That's going to go 7, I think. That'll be a rip-up series. And look, I think that whoever wins the West would start favourites in that. I'm hoping obviously the Thunder, but time will tell. Anyway, that was my Lakers Thunder Game 2 wrap. I'll be back with another one after Game 3. Hopefully I'll say Thunder up 3-0, but who knows? You never know. Luka might come to the party. That home court might lift the Lakers a little bit, but we're no slouches on the road, man. The Thunder are very, very solid, powerful road unit too, so I'm looking for us to go up 3-0, but let's see what happens. So we got 6 postseason wins now. We need 10 more for a championship. So let's do it. And we've now won. We're the only team at 6-0 undefeated in this year's playoffs. And going back to Game 7 last year, we're now won 7 straight postseason games, which is cool. But let's go for another 2 more, sweep this bad boy, and move on to conference finals. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you watching. And yeah, Thunder up.